Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Cosmic Crit. This is your GM Patrick here, as well as your CritterCon hostess with the mostess. This week's intro is another reminder that our online charity convention, CritterCon 5, is happening in less than a month from next week. So it's starting Friday, April 29th through Sunday, May 1st. You probably heard about us talk about it here on Twitter, Discord. We're putting on dozens of games on Roll20, Foundry, other virtual tabletops, and we're doing so in order to raise money for Doctors Without Borders. Just last week, they dropped off emergency medical supplies to hospitals within the Ukraine. They have missions all over the world. They're doing very important work during armed conflicts, global pandemics, natural disasters. So they're very important, and every dollar that we raise goes directly to that organization through their donation portal during the convention. This year's CritterCon is going to be a blast. We are running the 3-99 organized play convention special this year for both Starfinder and Pathfinder. If you don't know what that means, it is multiple tables all playing various parts in a huge scenario. So imagine like 5 or 6 different tables of those games, playing kind of the same adventure. Your actions at one table can affect what's going on at another. It's very team-oriented, trying to unlock certain tasks in the allotted time for the scenario. They are a ton of fun, and we need more GMs if we're going to make it even more fun for our players. So, if you want to GM this CritterCon and give your time up for charity, then come to our Discord and get signed up today. If you register before March 29th, which is about a week after this episode goes live, you can also receive the scenarios you want for free from Paizo. You can still GM after that, but you won't get support. I want to thank everyone who's already signed up. We've already got a ton of tables I'm very excited about, and everyone that is considering it right now. Player signups are going to be in about 3 weeks' time, so stay tuned for that announcement. Until then, everyone listening, get ready for another great con at the end of April. Now, let's get on with this week's episode. We've got an exciting one this week, as the crew are back together for the first time in years on Absalom Station, and investigating what threats await them, the center of the galaxy here. Find out on this week's episode, Mad Hibbs.
Episode commencing in 3, 2, 1. Episode initiated.
Whip those chains with me back 15 years ago to a simpler time when making a deal with the devil led to the unlikeliest of Marvel heroes getting its own movie adaptation. That's right, join me on Cosmic Crit, Ghost Critter Edition. This is your GM Patrick here, your ghostly motorcyclist, welcoming you back to another damnation and fire and brimstone filled episode of the podcast. And joining me in burning rubber and peeing fire are my 5 friends and equally eternally damned heroes across the digital table from me. Son of the devil and demon while not under the sun. It's Myles playing Rami.
Good evening.
On my right, hotshot stuntman and all around bad mother bronker. It's Tyler playing Edrass.
Hey, Patrick.
To his left, a Texas Ranger who hit a deal from the devil himself. It's Rebecca playing Alyndra.
Hello.
And to my left, this fiery host can eat a peach for hours. It's Drew playing Feldspar.
Nick Cage is a national treasure.
And finally, to his left, none other than Peter freaking Honda as the devil. It's Gibert as Andis 148.
Hey, Drew, you stole mine.
That movie, those 2 movies exist, and it's
oh, they made 2 of them? That's crazy.
Yes.
That's wild.
It's
I have never
wilder.
seen either of them.
I haven't
Oh
either.
man! Oh, there were they.
I'm sorry, what movie?
Ghost Rider starring
Rider.
Nicolas Cage.
Got it.
I have, however, seen the pre-viz pictures of him on set wearing like the thing that they went in and animated the fire on his head, and it is hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine so. Just the fact that movie was made, it's like, what is happening?
Like sweaty, ripped Nick Cage with obvious computer enhancement is just so disturbing.
Sweaty indeed. But yeah, I think I mentioned it last week. I was like, why wasn't this the intro for the demon car episode, the fiery demon car episode, which we're not going to talk about that much this week, as you did. You all right there, Tyler?
Yeah, sorry, can't help but sing the song.
I hope you can. You know, there's like a whole host of buttons that allow you to just hear you humming in the background.
I know, right?
Yeah. Last week, you guys did fight off an assassination attempt on Rami from the remnants of the Corpse Fleet, but there is no trivia this week, as we have to talk instead all about you guys leveling up to level 15 once more. Our third of the ability score increases 5, 10, and now 15. Who wants to go first and talk a little bit about how your character has leveled up?
Patrick,
first.
If we get all these right, do we get a bonus? Do we get a boon?
I actually have what you should have taken. Yes, written down here.
Hooray.
So we'll see if indeed that matches up. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. So I took a new feat, since it's an odd level, that was recommended to me by Gibert. So thank you, Gibert. It is Deadly Aim, so I can opt to take a -2 to my attack roll and in exchange get plus half my level in damage. So yay!
It's pretty good.
And we figure with the +4 to our flanking bonus, and with Get 'em, and with the flashing strikes that I have, no negatives at all.
A bit. Yeah.
So just extra damage all the time.
Love it.
Most of the time, anyway.
I'll go second because I pinky promised Rebecca I was going to take the same thing, and then the last second I chickened out and took shield proficiency. And so now I have a +1 to my AC. There you go. That's my big one.
Woo! Who else? What else?
Mine's boring. Oh, Drew beat me to it.
Everyone's trying to outbore one another.
No, mine is actually kind of nice. I got an expertise talent this level.
Nice.
And I chose expert advice, meaning when I roll a check to aid, I can forego rolling my expertise die. And if I succeed in the aiding, instead of getting the +2, I can roll my expertise die and have that be the bonus that the person gets.
That's actually pretty darn good. That's, 1 in 8 chance it's like less than the +2.
Yeah.
Let's take it.
I mean, knowing my luck, it will be 1 every time, but I'm willing to give it a shot.
We shall see. Tyler?
Yeah. This level was all about I want to go first in combat, so I took the feat Constant Alert, which allows me to once per day re-roll my initiative check, and I automatically win all ties on initiative. So it's all about Edrass go right away. Just get out there immediately. And I got a gear boost this level, but pretty boring. I took laser accuracy, gives me a +1 to attack rolls with laser weapons. So I don't even have Edrass doesn't even have a laser weapon. But
Tyler, I asked for one thing. That was 2. How dare you?
Oh no, we lost our boon.
No. You asked for one thing. Those are both half things. I added them together to make one.
Yes, 2 halves. That's 2 things. Myles, what about you? Anything cool and technomancery?
Well, I did get a new level 5 spell So one thing is people keep posting up to Rami, despite the fact that Rami is trying to kind of stay on the fringes of the battle. So I decided to take something to possibly dissuade that. And this is Synapse Overload.
Boy.
This it's basically to affect the target, you must hit with a melee attack against EAC. You can add your key ability score modifier to this attack instead of your strength modifier if it's higher. You then overload the target's mind, causing the target synapses to violently trigger. The target takes 18 d8 damage and is staggered for 1 minute. A target can negate the staggered effect with a fortitude save, but still takes full damage.
Oh, wouldn't have helped last week against a evil car, but against living things, that's pretty terrible.
It should also be noted that casting this spell does not provoke attacks of opportunity.
Oh, yeah. So you just do with your mind and blast them.
And then teleport away.
Awesome. Right. So that is level 15 in addition to all the other stuff you guys got. I'm sure we'll see it eventually. But yeah, this from 14 to 15 was pretty short, pretty quick turnaround. So I'm excited to get back into it because we are going to level up again at the end of this book. Spoiler warning. Depends how long this episode is. If you guys want to go for the next 5 or 6 hours, and probably. No, yeah. Let's get into this week's episode, though, which does not start on Absalom Station, where we last left off, but rather the distant planet of Hibb, a small Leovaran moon of gentle rolling green hills, whose orange sunsets are filled by the encroaching yellowish orange hues of a massive gas giant, whose purple and blue skies are filled with an aurora borealis style light show of green and purple. And here we see not the Driftrider crew, but just a lone Edrass Vaaranas, a few years younger, pirate and vagabond, helping to secure a ship's cargo, not his own ship here on the planet Hibb, but a ship owned by a scuzz runner named Flick. This is a number of years ago, where we see you load in maybe some stolen crates marked astral extraction on their sides from an automated ship, and Flick comes around to you and says, "Hey, Vaaranas, let's hurry it up. I don't want the stewards coming around and figuring out where we got a signal jammer drone up. This might be a new settlement here, but they can still have patrols around Leovara that can drop the hammer on us real quick."
Yeah, I'm moving them, but these are heavy. I don't know what astral connections does, but this stuff's just, I don't know, weighs a ton. It's heavier because he doesn't have all those personal upgrades in strength yet.
You don't have levels 5, 10, and 15.
All in strength? Yeah, no.
He's just a nerd.
No, this is still pirate Edrass. This is early in your pirate career.
At this point, he had the intelligence of 16.
Oh, no.
One of these pieces of equipment is going to fall on his head or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is Edrass's origin story.
Yeah, he didn't follow workplace safety protocols.
Right.
And he had some head trauma.
Edrass, you should probably put on a hard hat or something. It's a hard hat area. No, I'll be fine.
No, hard hats aren't cool. Brain damage is cool.
I'm smart enough to...
His memory for a little while ends up naked on a random Catonian junkyard.
Ooh, been called out. No, as you continue loading this cargo, marked fragile, a number of odd-looking creatures, kind of look like noses on trackballs, come rolling on up to you, maybe from the very edge of your light here in this darkened night, and one of them comes up and says,
"Hello, what manner of alien are you, friend?"
I think they're talking to Edrass.
Yeah.
I think Edrass looks around and goes, "You've never seen a Vesk? There was like a whole war and stuff with... anyway, no, I'm a Vesk from the Veskarium."
No, we weren't around for the war. We're brand new to these parts. My name is Uso.
Oh, Edrass. Nice to meet you, also.
We are the Bantrin, and we are new to this world. We come from the towers where we slept, and we want to be your friend. I'm sorry, I get nervous and I sing.
Oh, no, it sounded, you have a better singing voice than I do.
I feel the words in my heart, and they just come on out, and instead of saying them, I sing them.
You must have a big heart since you're so full of song.
Oh, we're like I think we're like 60% heart, actually. It's a lot of heart in here.
I'll take your word for it.
Listen, we don't really know who we are. We just kind of opened our eyes a few months ago, and we have had many people come here to study us. The Starfinders ask all kind of questions. Phrasmids and Saronites come to counsel us. Even this astral extractions, well, they came in with their excavations trying to figure out where we came from, but they started taking some stuff with them that didn't really belong to them, I don't think. The contents of those crates there that you stole.
Oh, well, hey, we're always happy to make deals. If you need some of this stuff back, perhaps, I don't think Astral Connections is using it properly, so if there's a way we can help each other out, I'm happy to hear about it.
I mean, you're stealing from those who stole from us, so, we wouldn't... if we had something to give you, we would, but, perhaps, just those trinkets and those crates, they might have value to our people, but, really, they're kind of invaluable. They can help us remember who we are, where we came from, what we're doing. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I fully understand it, and also it doesn't have to be monetary. Pirates oftentimes have a hard time, making berth, as what we often,
Whoa! I'm not ready to become a mother yet, sir. I'm so sorry.
No. I mean, it's hard to. It's oftentimes. I get it. I understand. No, it's a language barrier. I totally understand. I meant.
You know what? I'm in. I thought about it. I'm in. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do this, sir. But can we work something out where we can get these crates back? I know.
Of course.
And that's how Edrass lost his tail. That's the story.
No, I
we
think... We
can't pay you now, but perhaps we can, help you and your ship if you're ever in need of a port here in the Leovaran system. What do you say?
Yes, if you can give us, a safe place to land, make repairs, or trade, that would be of more value to me than perhaps the contents of this crate.
We'll fast forward a bit, and as you see Flick's ship flying away, maybe a little bit lighter than it's supposed to be, you get an e-message on your comms here from a friend named Rami, asking if you'd be willing to come to Absalom to do some Starfinder work with them. This actually is the origin story. This is like right before episode 0.
Find some stars.
This happened.
And Edrass types on a data pad like smiley face, and then a typo, and then
you had a typo
and then just a sword emoji, and then Edrass.
Yep.
His own name?
Rami would get that message, smile, and just know that he was it.
Don't worry, gang. He's cool. I'm almost certain this means A+. He's
yeah. All these years later, that's still the kind of text messages you guys get. Are just misspelled words, emojis, and too many Spear. He actually had a custom Spear of Fates emoji made just for him. You guys, he spams that too many times.
I mean, so he's technologically savvy enough to get an emoji made, but he also signs every text.
I'm sorry.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Every text is signed and also says like XOXO Edrass.
Dear friend.
And excuse me.
Spelled DEER.
Dear friend.
The Spear of Fates emoji is one of the Drift Rider crew emoji packs that Gnak and Rami put out into the Infosphere in Infosphere communicator version, whatever.
Do you have a Crazy Frog ringtone pack as well?
those are out of, Patrick, those were out of style many years ago.
I'm joking about.
Gnak would never do anything like that. He would.
I feel like if you use the Spear of Fates emoji, there's like a 5% chance that your phone just like bricks for 5 minutes.
Right. So that was like 5 or so years ago. And we are fast forwarding back to the future, I guess, or the present, where you guys have passed the Grand Gardenia district and on your way to the Starfinder HQ. Coming inside, there's videos of news stream showing live reports from the moon of Hibb, and you see a familiar face, that of a reporter that you met on the planet of Jeterat, who says, Chlorpeacans, can you hear me in the studio? This is Absalom Station News, Light of Lantrell, here on the ground on the Leovaran moon of Hibb, where the situation is puzzling. We've reported a earthquake on the small rocky moon just a few days ago, but the local Bantrids here have reported an unnatural occurrence. A massive heat wave has rolled in. Temperatures on this planet
rolled in.
Oh, they gotta put all the fall jets in here if they can. Temperatures on the otherwise icy winter here on this side of the planet have tripled norms from freezing this time of year. Several heat advisories are in effect, but this activity has meteorologists puzzled as to what exactly is going on. You guys are led upstairs to the, Starfinder campus to Chiskisk's office, where the Chiskis is able to greet you, and you see the office is strewn with knickknacks and mementos, some of which are from your very own adventures, perhaps a Eoxian bone trooper femur, or Bumfuzzle stole it from a bone trooper and gave it to him.
I was gonna say, like, I would like to imagine that, like, these are things that we picked up along the way, but like we never gave to Chiskisk. It's just that, like, they sort of end up in his office somehow. And he's just like stealing them from us.
Yeah, there was like an Akata skull. It's like,
of course, yeah. Well, you didn't bring the skulls with you. He had the ship cleaned out, and got one polished. There's a devourer, death cultist.
He's always like, "Look what I did."
There's a photo of him posing with the body of an Akata, like you would at Jaws in Universal Studio or something.
And of course, because you did throw it out, there's Knak's old tail blade that you retired and gifted to him. It's in a small glass enclosure.
I'll sell it back to you for what, $4,000? Is that what it is?
Oh, it's so expensive. The original tail blade. Oh my goodness.
I'm good. I've got 4 others. I've got a whole set now.
Well, welcome, friends. I take it you got my messages, yes?
Alyndra checks her phone.
That's right. Yeah, I was going to say, Andis does the same thing.
Did you just come here for your own accord? Oh, okay.
Nak and Rami look at each other, knowing they've both got him on block. But
I read.
Everyone looks at a draw.
I read the report that Cattywampus sent along, and I didn't think that goblin really understands the common tongue very well, but the computer information Rami gathered, it is of vital import there from Jeterat. Our analysts have been poring over it since it came in, but I would love to hear in your own words what exactly happened on that planet.
They are opening a most exquisite resort town.
Thank you, Andis. Appreciate you putting that bit of information in.
Yes.
But the resort is being plagued by a tower that was putting out a signal, and we found all this tower just sort of emerged out of the ground, full of what appear to be ancient Bantrid or evidence of ancient Bantrids. And
and we have a timeshare there as well.
That's very good, Andis. Very good. The Bantrids, you say? We also got reports from a Xenio archaeologist there, Tala, on Jeterat, who says the tower that they're exploring now shows a remarkably high number of similarities to the tower vaults of the Bantrids on the planet Hibb.
There was a reference to Hibb in one of the messages that we translated.
Well,
Nice.
there was a message being transmitted to Hibb from the tower.
Ah, that's right. I got hit on the head by a car, so I'm a little out of sorts.
Perhaps you saw the news recently, but first we have these massive storms on Jeterat, and now Hibb is under extreme heat. I don't like it. I know for you all it's just a nice relaxing vacation on the slopes, but if this has anything to do with what's happening on Hibb right now, that tower on Jeterat, or this thing called the Worldseed, whatever this Arc Prime is, then you are literally this universe's only experts in this field of Civian technology. I can see some of you wearing it right now.
That's right. We have to go to Hibb and protect the ski slopes on Hibb from melting. He's right. We have to go protect the tourism interests of other clients.
Well, what if every book was just about protecting
ski resorts?
Ski resorts.
To level 20!
Protecting the interests of Feldspar and Quinn-Darr.
Edrass.
If you're interested in going to him, I would be very grateful if you could follow through on these reports and investigate what is happening.
Do you have a timetable of exactly when the earthquake occurred or when this heat wave may have begun?
It matches up with like a week or so ago when indeed that the tower came forth on Gibert. You know, if it was a subspace transmission, then it is possible that it, you know, just beats you to the Pact Worlds a few days before you got here.
Okay, so, well, I mean, I guess what I'm after is, like, it wasn't us stopping the transmission, it was the transmission itself, like, timetable-wise, like, we were to line up the timelines.
Probably.
The tower emerging from the surface, not us interfering, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And the prior place that we had been to has nothing to do with Hibb, right?
Gibert?
No, I mean like the little cave system that we were in Gibert.
Well, that was Sivian.
That was Sivian, and that's what caused that's what caused the tower to go up. So by proxy, I suppose. Yeah, one thing led to another, led to this.
I guess technically you'd say it was our fault because we went looking into this.
Yeah, because we went snooping. Okay.
But to be fair, it was those other scientists from.
Oh yeah, they were already snooping.
They were already down there poking buttons. We just came down and poked. We were
rescuing the snoopers.
Okay, but all right. So the tower comes up. The transmission to Hibb is probably when the earthquake happened. We were just a little too late to stop it from happening in the first place. Okay.
Yeah, it seems like we're seeing a ripple effect of some ancient Sivian technology coming online, right? So when something happened in the ruins, that procced the tower to come up, which is seemingly a signal relay, which has now procced other technology to possibly activate. That just happens to be on Hibb, which makes sense since that the Bantrids, which were, you know, obviously I think enslaved or indentured by civs on that planet, seem to have escaped it via the Worldseed to Hibb. So it makes a lot of sense that there is then civ tech on Hibb.
But was the transmission to Hibb or was it to the Worldseed, or are they one and the same? Like, is the Worldseed now on Hibb, or we don't really know that?
I think the current belief is the Worldseed is on.
There's no history of something called a Worldseed or a ship on, you know, bringing Bantrids to Hibb. Their history is they just kind of appeared on the planet like 6 years ago.
And they have like amnesia, it sounds like. They don't know where they came from.
Correct. Right? Yeah. Yeah. They were very interested to or studied by the Starfinders because they were like, does this has something to do with the gap, you know? But they have not been able to find anything conclusively about that.
Okay, but the like all the stuff with Ophi was his name, I think, and the transmission to the Worldseed that we found on that planet happened like thousands of years ago, like
tens of thousands.
Really know. Okay,
no, way long ago. That's when the Worldseed in this insurrection on Gibert happened. What has happened since then, who knows? Okay. Maybe the answers are on Hibb, maybe not.
Okay. We can send you there. We have a contact, a Starfinder liaison on Hibb named Uso. He's a Bantrid executive assembly member and works for Abador Core Interest, and he's agreed to meet you and lead you to one of the tower vaults that has had some recent activity lately, right around the time of the earthquake.
Does that name sound familiar?
Yeah. So Edrass, that is indeed one of these Bantrids that you've met many years ago.
I got Drew on that one. That was pretty good.
You only spent a little bit of time there, but yes, that name stands out.
Yeah, I think Edrass would be like, oh, well, I already wanted to go, but I haven't been to Hibb in some time, but Yes, that name brings back memories. I would very much like to go speak to him again. I wonder if he still sings when he gets nervous or doesn't know the meaning of the word birth.
Our Starfinders have looked into him many times since they emerged with no history or living memory years ago. To think about it, it was right around the time the Hard Scrabble Collective found the Drift Rock. I do not like being so blind and clueless as to what is happening here. The Starfinders need information, and you all are the most seasoned adventuring crew out there. And I know you've not been together working for some time, but I think it is high time that you see the Drift Rider again out there working for the Starfinders. Put aside the Trivids and the fame and the other jobs, your academic careers. If you all can come together in this office again, just like you did years ago as strangers, but manage to outmaneuver the Corpse Fleet and the Coulter to Devour, well, I think you can do it again. We need that courage, that bravery. We need that team that crashed a capital ship into star-imploding superweapon. Are you guys up to a new mission here?
You know what, those guys? You know what, Chixis? We'll do it. But only if Edrass apologizes for what he did.
What?
I'm just kidding. That's for the movie. We'll get to it later.
Oh, okay. Well,
So am I to understand we get to crash something else? Because that sounds fun.
I mean, if circumstances allow it and the universe is on the line.
Say no more. We will crash whatever needs to be crashed.
I'll do the paperwork.
Yep.
Done and done.
I'll cover your butts with the Starfinder HQ.
So sorry, ball. Let's go.
So sorry, ball.
Let's see. Yeah, so we're going to fast forward to like a day or so later. It's within the packed world, so it's within our main solar system here of Absalom. So you can go through the drift, or you can just take conventional thrusters, but eventually you get an aerial view showing up in the Drift Riders view screens of rolling hills down below in this blue-green sky. And indeed, you're being sent to locate the Starward Vault Tower, a large structure with a city kind of built around it, a bustling metropolis at this large kind of skyscraper's base here. And as we see the Drift Rider land, there is a contingent of Abadar Corps Bantrids waiting for you, decked out in gold and orange suits, carrying a huge banner that reads, "Welcome Starfinders." Indeed, as you disembark, a familiar-looking Bantrid rolls up, Edrass, wearing a large golden ceremonial headdress and a Abadar key cred stick around his neck, trunk. I don't know what Bantrids have. They seem all neck.
Yeah, it's nothing but neck all the way down.
Nothing but neck.
They are a accessory heavy culture. A neck accessory heavy culture.
Greetings, Starfighters! Oh, welcome back, Edrass! It's I, Uso. Do you remember me?
Yeah, of course. We made a deal together, and I think it worked out quite well for us overall. I was happy we'd help you back then. It'll be nice to help you out now under different circumstances.
Well, welcome back. It's as the past patrons used to say, so saw we ball. It's a little thing that somehow
so saw we
survived.
ball.
I think we wrote it down.
Andis like bows as he says, "So saw we ball."
So saw we ball.
Yeah. It's an ancient confirmation, an affirmation, if you will. That means, they saw us balling or rolling, common vernacular.
I'm so uncomfortable with
I
this.
thought you didn't know about birth. Edrass told us all kinds of things.
Oh, no, I know about birth. I know about birth. Yeah, no, so we ball. Yeah, balling as in like basket balling. Like
different
when
kind
you
of
throw
balling.
a ball
Okay.
in a basket.
Oh,
Understood.
Yeah, welcome, Starfinders. I am your Starfinder liaison. Come with me to the Vault Tower. It's our capital building in the center of the Abadar Core's local power.
I don't mean to give notes, but you could have rhymed Mason with.
What's rhyming?
Oh my!
Follow me and we'll take the shuttle to the downtown and we'll have a good time there.
Edrass, you told me this guy sung. You didn't tell me he didn't know what rhyming was.
Can sound go through the wall of force?
I'm burning a level 4 spell right now.
That's a level 5, son.
I think it does.
Oh my goodness!
And I will burn it all day long.
My goodness!
As you're walking, it will say,
Edrass, since you left, our people have united under 2 banners. I answered the call after you left, and our CEO, most exalted Abadar, has taken up our rallying point, and I've been working, to gain independence on the Pack Council and help solidify our people's voice. And then there's also another camp here, Republic of Hibb, who wish to stay a protectorate of Barathus, and which will likely kind of merge our cultures, erase a lot of what we've uncovered about our people since the Awakening.
I don't suppose you're still making deals with pirates anymore, then?
Only when it serves our interests.
I still like your guys' style. Well, I'm sad to hear that you guys have 2 kind of differences of opinions on how you should be moving forward. I am happy to see that things have developed well here.
And developed they have as, this was basically kind of shanty towns. There's no real permanent structures when you were on Hibb last. Maybe some mining operations of things like astral extractions. But now that you're here, Starward, the city around this tower that you've landed at, is a pretty big, very shiny, new looking metropolis. A shuttle arrives and takes you into the downtown, and you hear, there's other people on here discussing the heat wave. You see almost everyone sporting rollerball summer fashion. I don't know how Bantrids have flip flops, but they do.
Is it a lot of
flaps?
They're just flaps on glued to different parts of their ball. They're just sort of flap down as they roll.
I think so. Yeah.
That sounds right.
Kind of like playing cards on the spokes of a bicycle.
Yeah, like that.
There's a TV ad that you pass by, and with no signs of relief from the scorching heat, there's lines around the block for the Trivid theaters. And their temperature-controlled environs. Gnak Attack 3, The Empire of Bone Strikes Back, has returned to cinemas as in playing all across Hibb. Come tune in and see the end of the amazing Drift Rider trilogy. What some erroneously have called Season 1 of the Crew's Adventures. Yeah, and as you get towards the center of town, the Vault Tower, as you get to it, looks very similar to the spiraling tower on Jeterat. It's about 300 feet tall and indeed has an outside structure, like a ramp going up its main levels. This one, though, has what looks like a giant golden key of the Abadar core kind of mounted on its easternly side. And maybe this one has guardrails around that ramp going up. Yeah, Uso will walk you into a conference room, and on a table there's a dozen Leovaran delicacies, snacks and drinks, and he offers them all to you.
I'm sorry. What got me triggered?
Did I say snacks? I meant just poison and deadly chemicals. They're clearly marked. It's don't eat this one. This is just for Bantrids. It's poison to everyone else. So I need to roll on it.
Listen, Drift Riders, Abadar Corps has said they're going to help back our play for local independence here if we can become really financially viable. So, that means we got to get into the black here. A door to the base of this tower just opened up right around the time we had that earthquake. And our scientists have found an unopened vault area beneath us. Our mutual friend Chiskis said that you might have something to do with these. There's some ancient ruins on another planet you found. What's all that about?
Complicated.
Well,
Yes,
okay.
you know what would really put you in the black is a doomsday weapon. We will see if we can find you one of those, and then your independence will be assured.
I would love one of those if you got one lying around, but
Yes.
Edrass says, "We do," and then he kisses his biceps.
Okay, keep it down. Wait, if you find anything, if you go down there and explore, we would
save
love
it for the ship berth, Edrass.
It hurts to do this voice. Please don't interrupt.
If you find anything of note, we would need to retain first dibs on that technology. Any artifacts you find, Mr. Feldspar, Mr. Quinn-Darr. If your corporations are interested in a joint venture with Abadar Corps in exchange for helping us to petition the Pact Council, we would love to have major corporations on our executive board like your own. Is that something that would be agreeable to you all?
Diplomacy check.
Mhm.
I do believe we can come to some sort of understanding.
Are you actually going to roll a diplomacy check for what?
To
To do what?
may the odds ever be in Gnak's favor.
Drew can't role play. He just wants to role play. He wants to ROLL play. I've asked for no rolls this entire episode so far. Drew's rolled twice.
One was just for the sound effect. This one's
Oh,
for,
goodness gracious.
for me.
I'll tell you, we've had a number of businesses bidding for access to the subterranean tower, but, I don't want someone to just come in and plunder the place. We need information, and the Starfinders, like yourself, if you poke around down there, maybe you find something. Maybe it would be in our best interest to have a joint corporation for that technology. Anyway, it'd be wiser for us than, say, selling off the rights to the Eoxians or the Livarian Consortium. We want someone that will be in our corner.
Oh, we can be in any corner. We know that you, being a spherical species, have difficulty with those. We got you covered.
Yo, is that racist?
I'm going to take your sense motive check that you rolled in jest here, because it does seem like Uso, in talking with you and talking maybe about your history a little bit, is trying to get a feel for you if you are indeed perhaps the heroes that the movies made you out to be. And in particular, you and Rami, if you're, stand-up corporate bros or are just looking to make a quick buck.
Some scrubs.
Look, I've watched 1 season and 2 episodes of Succession. I think I know a little something about business.
Yeah, and with your diplomacy check here, you can assuage him. You can put his fears to rest, and he'll say,
Okay. I believe you guys are here just like you were to save the galaxy years ago. You're on the right page. Let me take you down, show you what we're working with.
He's going to roll down the hall to an elevator and take you down below the ground level, which dings a short while later and opens up to a large circular chamber with a rounded sealed portal on the other end of this room.
For years, this wall was just seamless metal, and a few days ago, this door appeared, and, well, I for some reason, I feel it wants us to go in.
His foot orb kind of hums as he spins excitedly in place, kind of like a cartoon character getting ready to run, like doodle-doodle-doodle. But he doesn't move anywhere.
I've done everything I can to protect our people from outside influences all these years. I've lobbied, overseen corporate deals and mergers. I've tried my best to advocate for our community. My efforts are humble and part of a greater process so far, but we've managed to prosper while maintaining our independence. I have high hopes for the future, but this...
Looking at the door,
How can I protect us from what's within our own history that we might not know? I gotta admit, I took a spin through these tunnels just yesterday. I found myself just on the other side of this door, and as soon as it opened, I was overwhelmed. I think it could go on for miles. I turned around in fear I would never be heard from again. They're strange. They're alien to us. But it's possible. Maybe we built them years ago. Anyway, I knew we needed help, and which is why I reached out to Starfinders. We need your help figuring out what's going on down here.
You made the right choice. This building, this structure, it is a part of a very ancient past and not something that should be taken lightly or explored carelessly, especially by the Bantrids. So we will be happy to help you in any way we can.
Well, be careful. They are labyrinthian. They're all these connected chambers. There's long branching paths and hallways, and the walkways, they're too deep underground, so we've not been able to find them with geoimaging tech. And sadly, you're going to be in the dark down there. In several ways, comms are severely limited, so if you go down there, you might not be able to call for help, just FYI.
You say you walked around them. Do you have any record of where you went, which paths you took, and where they led?
Yeah, I mean, I think he has like some data that he can show you. Like he walked thousands of feet in one direction and then like took a turn and then another turn and basically came back. And it seemed like it took hours and hours. So not a ton of information, unfortunately.
Let the Golden Vault keep you, my friends. In Abadar Korn's name, let you be safe. Thank you. Have fun. See you later, kiddos.
May we be as fortunate as he was that he lucked out and took the right turns.
Yeah, so saw we ball, indeed.
Yeah, so
I spit down the tunnel to see how far it goes.
Okay, well, how far can you spit?
Oh, probably like, I don't know, 5 feet, 6 feet.
It goes 10 million miles.
Is it an attack roll or a throne roll?
5
what
feet,
do you
5
think?
feet goes 5 feet. Range attack for sure.
Good. Gravity still works. Good. Well, good news, everyone. I've discovered something. Alyndra, what do you have?
Physical science. Can I do a physical science?
Physical science on the spit.
Please make me one, yeah.
All right. Well, I want to see if this, looks...
Maybe gravity isn't working so good. I don't know.
We'll see. It's a 26. Oh, that's only a 5 on the die. But I have a -5 to the DC on Strange New Worlds or Features of Space.
This is...
It's a new world.
Well, I don't think it's a world too much of what you're going through in this tunnel here, because as you move down here, well, I should say the first thing all of you realize is the heat that is being felt topside seems to be even more intense down here as you are subjected to extreme heat. It is minimum in most places a balmy 120 degrees or so, and seems to be radiating from the ground up. So you go to touch the ground and maybe investigate. It's not stone, it's not rock, it's a like high level constructed nanocarbon ground, and the walls as well are made up of this extremely powerful metal.
Patrick, has it been more than a week since we were on Gibert?
No, probably only like 5 days or so. Why?
Damn. Oh, my career trooper theme allows me to adapt my armor to the environment I'm in. Mm-hmm. But because themes are ridiculous, I can only do that once a week, which seems rough.
Seems silly.
Can we hang out for 2 days?
Especially because different planets are going to have different week lengths.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Also that.
Weeks are always 7 days. I think because you had a few days there of rest before you left. It's been a week since you explored the spiraling tower. So I think for this like super OP
I know, right?
ability, we can say it's been a week.
Heck yes. I need to spend 10 minutes adapting my armor so I may gain some benefits.
Well, you can do that. And I want to.
Have we gotten all of our SP, HP, and Resolve back?
Yes. Oh my God. Okay. You guys asked that.
I'm sorry. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, because we don't trust you.
Yeah, the reason we ask is because we all know we were on a ship to get to this planet, but for all we know, you're gonna be like, well, you were only on the ship for 25 minutes, so
if only you took notes. I literally said it takes at least 2 days to get to him. 2 days.
Oh, okay.
Patrick, I'm so sorry I started this.
Yeah, no,
you should be.
Tyler
You should be.
This is all on me.
I do have a question, though. I mean, you can take 10 minutes for that. But my first question is, do you guys want to activate your environmental protections on your suits?
Is there any particular time pressure why we need to go down this tunnel right now? Or could we like exit the tunnel and come back in like an hour?
Do you have something to do?
I mean, it seems like if people have the cash for it, a armor upgrade of a thermal capacitor might be helpful.
Yeah, I mean,
I have one of those.
If you guys want to retcon it, say you're going to a hotter climb,
hotter place, then
that's fine. It's if you have fire resistance already, you don't need to turn on your environmental protections because this temperature, it's like D4 of damage, every once in a while. So it'll be hot and sticky, but you're not going to take damage from the environment here.
I have fire protection when I have evolution points, so only in combat. So
right.
I actually I think it's because of rugged for my Lashunta subtype, get +4 to fort saves against hot and cold. So
okay.
Nice.
Well, yeah, that. If you don't have any fire resistance, I would recommend turning that on, or if you want to purchase an armor upgrade. The environmental protections protect you for 24 hours per level of your armor, I think. So I don't think you have to worry too much about that. I'm just asking mainly because, if you already have some resistance to fire, then you can just walk around without them up.
Okay. Yeah, no, okay. That's a fair point. I forgot how high level our armor was at this point.
To be mine.
Yeah, for the most part, most of you can be down here for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
No problem. Does anybody not want to activate theirs? Does anybody have fire resistance?
I guess Edrass won't, and he'll be like, yeah, Edrass doesn't. Edrass just has fire resistance 7. So
wow, yeah,
he'll just kind of be like,
this is like basically Vesk in the winter time.
yeah. So Edrass is going around like, oh man, I don't know if you guys knew this, but I used to live on Vesk Prime, the primary planet in the Vesk area. I mean, this reminds me of this place we would travel to in the summer when I was a kid. Oh, I love it. The heat feels good on the scales.
Oh yeah, the Vaaranas desert. Indeed, this is like comfortable weather there.
Gnak has protective fur, which is +2 fort save to cold and heat dangers, and +4 circumstance bonus to saves for diseases and poisons.
So yes or no on environmental protections.
Good. He's good. Okay. He can turn them on if he needs to.
Okay, yeah. Well, why don't you make me a fortitude save? See if you do need to.
How dare you? Oh, that's a 27.
Yeah, with your bonus. I mean, you're sweating in your suit here, but you realize if you're going to be down here for an extended period of time, that your fur is not going to help stave off that heat. The Vesk is doing well here, but you might find it uncomfortable.
On, man, it's fine.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah. Remember, Edrass is taking damage. He's just ignoring it.
I'm going to have a thermal capacitor in my armor too. But
well, yeah, if you have a thermal capacitor,
then you're good.
That is basically like, not really like a heater or air conditioning, but it soaks up heat from the outside. So you don't have to. Yeah, I don't think it has like a time frame. I guess it must have a battery.
It might have a battery.
And we've talked about this a couple times, thermal capacitors just in general.
Thermal capacitors are just +5 though, right? What does the +7 come from?
No, a thermal capacitor is a resistance 5.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant. But
it does not take a battery at all. It just is
basically is good up to 170 degrees Fahrenheit. So pretty good. Right. So as you begin to wander through these corridors, these hallways, you are continuously met with paths that break off, fork and kind of split and lead in not opposite directions, but, it's like Y shapes almost everywhere. And amongst them, but between them, you can tell are several chambers, what seem like along these hallways, just hundreds of looking, or dozens of rooms, and each seem to be full up side to side with these pods that look very similar to the ones that you saw in the Sibian basin on Jeterat. You guys want to investigate one of these as you're walking along?
I will.
Very similar to the ones you saw there. Seem to be made for a small or medium creature. But as you go up to them, they're all empty for one thing. And they seem untouched, unpowered. And yeah, if you go room to room, I mean, there's not hundreds of these. There's thousands, tens of thousands, maybe, if you keep walking past rooms. And almost all of them seem to be pristine, completely untouched, standing silently in this, making these completely pitch black hallways feel just like graveyard-like almost, as you walk past one of these open doors and your lights kind of briefly illuminate all these little technological eggs for a short while. And then, as soon as you leave, they're going to be back in darkness. Maybe they've been dark for thousands of years. Who knows?
Hold on. When you say they've been untouched, are they unused, or is there something inside of them?
You don't see anything that seems to suggest that any of the ones that you sample have been activated at any time or been used.
Okay.
No wear or tear on them whatsoever. Yeah, so this place is literally a gigantic maze. How do you guys think you would want to go about exploring it?
Whenever you're in a maze, don't you just hug the left wall?
Yes, I've seen screensavers that tell of the strategy. It always works out.
I think that's all Edrass knows about maze dealings is
So
hug left and drop little crumbs of MREs wherever you go.
So you want to just continue to take like a left fork and move forward?
I don't know if we should follow Edrass's idea. If there's somebody with like survival who's better or something, I don't know.
I mean, I can roll a survival check to see if that would.
Damn.
I don't have much, but
besides survival, is there a general tactic like that one? Does anybody else have a suggestion? Or do you want to try that and roll survival to see if it works?
I mean, is there any chance that one of the codes that we uncovered from the spiral tower would have any bearing here, or that's very far-fetched probably?
I mean, you don't see anything that looks like computer terminals. So if those were codes that you would put into one, you would imagine that would be somewhere else on the ship.
Okay.
We could split the party.
I mean, I'm normally
one team hug right and one team hug left.
Yeah.
I'm normally one to suggest that, but unless you have a magical way of communicating, it might be a little dangerous because, I mean, they weren't lying. The comms, your chatter from the top side does seem to die off after you walk forward about 20 minutes or so.
I mean, don't we have some sort of telepathy? I feel like Rami had a telepathy spell.
We'll take a look for it. If you do want to just continue on one path, whether it be take the left or to try to find a bound, I think eventually, maybe like half hour in, you would get to one where you no longer start seeing branching paths left, and it only seems like take a very wide curve right. So maybe you're at like an outer limit here and continue walking or so. I mean, it takes maybe like an hour before you reach like an impasse where you have to start turning back around. Gibert, imagine the distance between our two houses, like a couple miles, between our cities, and imagine walking through just endless hallways and chambers in complete darkness to get from one house to the other. That's what you get to experience here in the darkness.
I can see why it felt like it took hours.
It did. It's going to take some time. Does someone want to make a survival check, or has anybody any other means you can think of to try and explore down here? Survival is definitely gonna not hurt.
I mean, is there anything a perception check could give us down here? Just like a hint that might be on the walls, like faint arrows etched in that we would have to pay really close attention to find?
I mean, none of you have seen anything so far, an hour or so in.
So I apologize if I've missed something. Are we just down here to explore and see what we find?
Pretty much, yeah. You're contracted from Abadar Core through the Starfinders to see what's up. This is brand new. No one else has been really down here.
Okay, so we're not looking for anything specific. We're just sort of checking it out. I mean, and if it blocks, our transmissions, my guess is that like scanners and whatnot would sort of not be super effective.
Well, it depends. I mean, like I said, there seems to be heat coming from the ground. So is there a way you think you would want to try and use a scanner to like track that? Or
I mean that's sort of an option, is we could try to go towards the hottest direction and sort of follow the heat further in.
Hibbs' hottest nightclub is boing. So saw we bought. It's got everything. Endless corridors, unused pods.
You wouldn't believe how much space there is for rolling. It's unbelievable.
And boy,
roll till you drop.
If you can make it to the end, you can figure out what a birth is.
I mean, I have physical science. Can I be tracking the heat as we go? Just like hold my thermometer out in front of me or whatever you do.
I have an image of you just with like a mercury thermometer, just like
I've got one of those.
That's right. At your desk?
That way.
Yes.
I think I have the exact same thermometer. Yeah, why don't you roll that? Someone else can roll engineering if you want to try and do something similar with tech. If someone wants to roll survival, go ahead. I think, Drew, what you're thinking of, not perception, it might be culture, to kind of try and extrapolate what you've seen of Civian architecture to try and guess the direction you're going for. Now, I will warn you, you're going to need a couple of successes here to try and figure out this maze, and failures might add some time here. You might get a little lost. So let's see.
Then I will roll culture.
Right. Well, we started with Rami, who's rolled. Myles has rolled a natural 3.
Shut up.
I won't.
3 too. So
no. So I rolled
a
36. So
that was the first one. Okay. So good news, bad news. We've got some successes and some failure. Oh, the DCs are different for all of them. Okay. Well, thank you.
Wait, really?
Tyler, it all comes down to Tyler. What have you rolled here? Muted.
I rolled a 33 on engineering. Okay, gosh, dang it, Myles.
Myles is pretty good at imitating Tyler's voice, actually.
Listeners, did you even know who that was? Oh my god.
Yeah, no, we see you guys, hard at work. Your nose is buried in your data pads trying to piece together information. Maybe a well-placed piece of chalk, like marking off some corridors as you go, like shaking your head, not this way. Gnak trying to figure it out from what you've seen of the tower on Gibert and the underground bases here. And the camera is going to pull back as you guys move through these corridors, the small lights on your armor and weapons, lighting them up for a short amount of time as you walk around in circles in a few key places along the corridors. And from above, it looks like you're spelling out the words "to be continued."
I really wish there were xenomorphs in this hall, in this labyrinth.
Circle.
Oh, you want some bugs? I can get you some bugs.
Yeah, Xenos, let's go. Give me some Thresher Lords in this, mother trooper.
No. Next week we get the the return of one of my favorite rules in Starfinder, forced march rules. See how long you guys can walk through these corridors. I am not joking. We might
Wow.
be in territory. Yes.
Oh,
No one brought your marching boots from season 3. I know it for
A
a fact.
43 culture check doesn't count as a success.
Yeah, no, Drew, your highest roll of the bunch, believe it or not, was a success. I
Okay,
was
good.
talking about the natural 3s were successes. Oh boy, we'll get to it next week. We'll have some more fun in obviously down here in the caverns or what have you.
Rami will ride on Knac's shoulders.
I would like to see that. That's going to do it for this
Shout out.
episode, guys. Thanks for playing with me.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Listeners, you know for a fact we got some other things going down here, and we'll get to it next time on Cosmic Crit. Until then, we'll see you next time.
So sorry.
Right.
You've been listening to Cosmic Crit, an officially licensed partner of Paizo Incorporated. The Starfinder role-playing game and adventure paths are trademarks of Paizo. All Pathfinder and Starfinder images are property of Paizo and are used with permission.
Until then, we'll see you next time.
So sorry.
Right.
Dang it! I did it again.
It's just such a
Did you
major
say Yar?
part.
You totally did. I couldn't even say goodbye because I immediately started laughing. Oh, dang, dude. That's funny. Every
See you
time.
next week.
Yeah, I was about to say, give us a clean. We'll see you next week. We'll just copy paste it. Just on top of it out, Yar.
The Yar will still be there. It'll just
Yar, see you next week.
So good.
Oh, man.